Caliban Strange, also known as the Doctor, aka Dr. Hofer. And this is DJ Mark Church, MC Church. And
Hey.
we play in an act called the Mobius Group, or short is the Mob. And lately we've been getting into DJing. The Mob was a hyper-reality sort of print thing that would show up in newspapers saying an angry mob has just taken over a shopping mall. And how we got into DJing, well, it started off.
Well, first of all, we wanted to take over the shopping mall.
Take over the shopping mall and take over the universities and the colleges with this new type of music.
Sonic power.
Sonic and
Take over in a really a way that had waves of sonic power and waves of the reality of the music and the spaces between the music too, which everybody was ignoring.
And it had been coined as gravitons. It was some sort of the sound, the output of music was powered and by these gravitons. And, well, it started with a classic rock act, and we were into the 80s, Motley Crue and things like that. And then the music of the hip hop and the DJs. It started off with a Zen-like quality to us, a Buddhist, but then we got into this new age sort of quantum reality. For example, a guitar pick, and it has two sides, and Werner Heisenberg had the uncertainty principle, and Schrödinger had the cat, which was both alive and dead. So if you have a pick, you actually have a choice, because it's a pick, like you pick lottery numbers. So let's say you have two picks, much like the uncertainty principle, which has 2 points recognized in the traveling of the electron through space. I don't know if that's true, but if you have yes on one pick on both sides and no on the other pick, and you take these two picks and you toss them onto the ground, what do you have is yes and no, that the cat is both alive and dead.
Exactly. Just like bipolar transistors, of course, have two moods. They have the angry mood, and then they have the more benign or peaceful mood. And we've been studying both bipolar transistors. We've been studying the graphs. Check out those graphs.
That's great. Yeah. It's amazing. The whole circuit diagram for
the waves of electrons.
For waves of electrons.
That create that sonic reality that we were talking about before. That's certain yet somehow uncertain.
And it's a sonic quantum reality for sure. For example, the famous mentalist Kreskin, he started off in his career and as a magician, but we don't have to do any antics to be successful. So we offer a telekinesis, and we actually move the record needle. We started off with rolling dice and trying to control what the dice would be. We would roll snake eyes or double sixes or something. We used our mind to do it. But then we started going to the record needle of the record player, and we concentrated with mental anguish and concentration to move the
Track one, track two, track. What track will it be? Will it be Elvis or will it be Dean Martin? We just didn't know until we refined our abilities to the point where we could actually start controlling them. And control is an illusion, of course, but it's a great illusion, one of the greatest illusions.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to control the manic energy that our music possesses, because it's a new form of music, compromising both DJ talents and modern, not even modern music, an original music known as
Strange music.
Caliban Strange. And it started with the calophone. We have the calophone here. It started with the calophone, and
which of course is Caliban and California.
California, and we're talking about how the record player. Well, it was eventually it was first off and invented by Edison. He just had the cylinders. He didn't actually have the record. He didn't have the disc, or he had the cylinders.
You're absolutely right, Dr. Robert. But all of the DJs are just a collection of waves, a collection of pre-made waves that somebody has already put together either in an electronic way or in an encoding format on a vinyl album.
Mm-hmm. And there must be some remnants of that in the universe, in the energy of the universe, even possibly dating back from the beginning of the universe.
Well, all those gravitons have to go somewhere, and think about how long they must have, since Edison's days, those gravitons have been floating out into the universe.
Mm-hmm. Edison, with his cylinders, he had a great idea. Eventually, the record player was invented. The CD is similar to these discs. They're actually
those are digital waves. Those are waves of digital uncertainty.
Digital
uncertainty. They have the electrons that are transmitted from those hits and scratches inside the CD through the circuits, through the buses. Imagine all these buses of certainty and uncertainty with electrons sitting much like a person sitting on a bus. The CD is either empty or full of an electron.
And that's why we use the record player. That's why we use the Caliban. Because
we tried using it on the bus once, but there was no place to plug it in.
And we needed some sort of generator. And we thought maybe we could plug into
solar power.
Solar power would work, or even a giant. Some sort of object that would maybe made out of a rare sort of
rare earth magnets, or rare silicon. You're right.
I know if you were to line up the magnets on top of these records, and then you would try to knock them off by tossing magnets at these records, and then they would all collect. They would all the magnetic force of the other magnets as he tossed them onto the record player, and they would collect, and that was sort of the pitch and the beginning. Since then, I'm not sure what our advantage over other DJ sets are. The fact that
I think the big difference is we also play the spaces in between the notes, whereas other people play the notes. That's all they think about. We actually tried very hard to play the spaces.
Space between those, and that's important because emptiness and harmony that creates the musical reality of a symphony, or even well, it's all retro in the end. It's all vintage. We want to bring the vintage sound back,
including playing backwards.
Playing backwards, yeah.
But we had a time when we were playing silence backwards.
Mm-hmm. And some of these equations,
which is a lot like time travel.
Time travel, and I think that's what it is. Because once we figure out gravity and the two great forces and magnetism in the world, well, then somehow we'll be able to build the time machine so we can go back. So we can go back to the beginning. Probably not 1980. If we can go back as far as 1980. We don't want to get stuck there, but 1980 would work, and I like the idea of time travel. I think it's possible. You must have some force that's nuclear, and you must have to have some sort of control of gravity, because gravity is probably the only force in the universe that's universal. So if you can control gravity, you'll be able to build a UFO, and once you have a UFO, well. We'll bring our music to the aliens, right?
Absolutely. Well, they brought enough of it to us.
They did.
Through Elvis, of course.
Through Elvis, yeah.
I think it's about time that we return the favor.
And so we'll have to show you, we're going to show you some of this other gear we use on stage. For example, the solar-powered mine projector is one of the things that we use. And it's a voodoo mine projector that uses a transmitter, and we transmit our signals to the audience who receive it like a dolphin receives waves in the ocean, like a dolphin.
Like aqua waves.
It's interesting because remember those old cassette recorders, and you could rewind them and it would go, and if you actually do that, it actually sounds like a dolphin. You reverse it, it sounds like a dolphin.
We may actually be listening to dolphin music backwards, but very slowly.
I think we have to start communicating.
We have to start thinking about that, those kinds of possibilities.
And that's what it's going to take, right? Because we want to We want to play music for the animals. We want to play music for the aliens.
And digital technology will help us get there. I've been collecting a whole bunch of the extra bits that have fallen off of the old 5 1/4 floppies that we had around. I've been collecting the bits, all those unused bits, all of the spaces between stuff, the checksums, the null packets, all of the stuff that wasn't being used, the garbage files that got deleted. Not traditionally used in music, all the space, it's like using the spaces between the notes. The spaces between the bits can also be part of a musical reality.
And you have to host these, much like you posted on the internet. You have to host these bits, these musical elements into space. You have to.
That's where they become reality.
That's where they become reality. Because really, what is space, right? Space is.
It's the collection of gravitons, of course, that we've already sent up there, plus the aurora borealis, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I wonder. I mean. When people start questioning, well, to get into the topic of copyright, apparently some of these bands their music isn't copyrighted, and then they get sued years later, and there must be some way of someday they might say Einstein. Relativity, they say that he did not discover it, right? Because but I think Einstein had the idea of
that was copyrighted
by the aliens. And someday they're going to find out. As we go back in time, the great physicist Sir Isaac Newton, we'll discover really in 500 years' time, after we evolved so far, that Newton was actually an alien.
I fully believe that, and I think it's going to be interesting to see when the imagine how much the royalties would be for the copyright for Gravity.
That's incredible. Yeah.
And who do we owe this to?
We owe the copyright to Gravity.
I said, and of course, in turn, the aliens.
Well, the aliens, eventually, if we're going to be able to communicate with the aliens, we have to become aliens ourselves.
Church.
And the venues we've been playing lately, I guess we want to bring DJ beyond the arena, beyond the bars. We want to bring onto the great space arc. We want to bring the.
Well, that's true. I was going to settle for the bus at first, but
the bus is good. Yeah,
it's a good start. You have to start small.
Start small,
and then go for bigger venues. The Great Space Arc.
Maybe the bus,
the big solar
power, is actually
rock.
a time machine, and it's part time machine and part U.F.O.
Do you know computers have buses inside them? That's really bad. Think about that for a minute.
Well, I know they have cameras watching you guys get on your bus, and they have GPS on the bus. Because the technology we'll have to discover is the UFOs are going to need a GPS. Otherwise, we'll never get off this planet, and the aliens will never be able to find other aliens, right, without GPS. Right?
That's true. Yeah.
Alien GPS technology, and how that relates to music, that's the question. We'll cut it there. Should we have a little intro, you think?
Waves of laughter, sounds of danger.